All right, welcome back. It has been a while. I am happy to say the fuselage has arrived. So in this video, you're going to see the unboxing here in the beginning, and then we're going to start the inventory. It's going to be a picture-in-picture, a little bit different style, so there'll be sped-up footage of the bulk of all of the inventory in the bottom corner, and then that's going to be followed by the last few bags in detail with me and Tiff both mic'd up talking about how we actually inventory and break down the bags of multi-parts. So hope you enjoy, stick around, and I will see you later. Okay, so here's the live action portion where we're going to go through the remaining bags. This is it for the fuselage kit. It looks like we're missing stuff, but we're not going to know for sure until we get through these. So this is just going to be a down and dirty, up close, how we do the inventory and how we sort out parts from these big multi-bags that Vans gives you of random stuff. So that being said, let's go ahead and start. Do you got a preference?
No, just grab one. All
right, well, let's do the rivets because I haven't done any rivets yet. So you've got bag 2304.
Okay, 2304 should be an AN 42683-5.
And 42683-5.
And we do not currently have a bag for those, so we need to make a label for it.
We don't have any?
No.
Oh, okay. Nice. How much does it say we have?
It says we have 0.12 pounds.
0.12 pounds. So I'm going to say that's about right. I'm not going to bother weighing them. If it looks like a ridiculously low amount, I'll make sure that it's right. Otherwise, I'm assuming they are. If not, rivets are easy enough to get and do what we need to do. And for whatever reason, the other camera decided it wanted to play again. So let's turn that off. Uh-oh. Oh no.
Have those rivets, please.
My GoPro might have just murdered itself.
Oh.
The end of the battery came off. The battery's swollen in there.
Did you get all the footage off that from
the
rest of the inventory?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, interesting. All right, well.
It would be tragic if it died before you got all your footage.
It would be. So the GoPro needs a new battery. Well, at least we got that off. Hand me that little can to put the footage in. Okay, so that's it for the rivets. Fairly easy, just identify them. And then, as I've shown, I think in the past, I don't know, you can't see it from there, but I have the row of acro bins on the wall, and we break down the components as best we can. We have one for nuts, bolts, screws, bushings, nut plates. They are nut plates, not plate nuts. And then inside of those for like bolts, there'll be individual baggies with labels on them for all the different sizes. So if I need a bolt, the plans call for a bolt, I just go grab the acro bin for it, open it up, and then I go through the baggies until I find the size I need. Makes it a lot easier than trying to find bag number, kit number, or whatever to sort this out. For individual things like rivets, if we have a whole bunch and it fills an entire bin, then it gets its own bin, like AN 42683-3.5 or a 474-5. It gets its own bin. And then when I need those rivets, it's easy enough just to grab the bin off the shelf and grab what I need off of them. Okay, moving along. Now we're going to show you what it looks like with one of these multi-bags of fun stuff. I don't want to do that one. Let's do this one.
What bag number is that?
This is bag number 2378.
Okay, it should have a whole bunch of stop nuts, handful of screws, and a couple elbows.
Okay. So in this bag, we've got a few fuel fittings, or at least aluminum dash fittings. So we got those. How many different size nuts do we got in here?
You should just have one 832 stop nut.
Okay. So then the other part of this is sorting out the bag by what's in it. So I'm sorting out the nuts so that we can count them. And then I'll sort out the screws. This gets really tricky when it's washers, especially the 960s. You've got I think they're the 416 regulars, and then the L's. They are the exact same size, only one is thin and one is not. And you have to sort them because they throw them in the same bag together, and that's not always easy. All right, 2, 4.
And while he's counting those nuts out, I'm trying to find the bag of screws, see if we have a bag of screws already in this particular size.
40.
Yes.
Okay.
Should have 32 of the screws. And I need to make you a label for that one, and then you should have 2 bulkhead elbows.
Yep, right
Cool.
there. So she just tossed me a bag of nuts that we already have that's the same size as these. These aren't going to fit, so I'm going to upsize these to a bigger bag. These were all parts of other bags, parts of other sub-assemblies. But it doesn't matter in the end, because when you're building the plane and you go through and look at the directions and the plans, they don't tell you go to bag 2371 and pull out this size nut. It just tells you you need this size nut. So it's definitely a lot better to break this stuff apart.
Does that go, do these go in with fuel fittings?
Yeah, those will go in with the fuel fittings. I don't need those marked because I know what those are. I just need to know where to find them. All right. So now, when it comes to the fuselage kit, we've noticed we have a lot more bolts particularly than we have in any of the other kits so far. In fact, you might be able to see there's a whole pile of bolts down there, and what's going to have to happen is it's going to take too many acro bins to sort those out. So I also have some parts storage tray organizers, some DeWalt ones that are being underutilized at the moment. So one of those is probably going to get dedicated to bolts after this, and it'll just live up here on the bench somewhere. And if I need bolts, I'll know that I go in there and then sort them by the bin that they're in and find the right size.
We'll probably need to put nuts and screws in there as well. The bin full of nuts is not closing anymore. It's getting a little overloaded, same with the screws.
I am blown away at the vast amount of parts in the fuselage kit so far, especially just the small brackets and stuff. My shelves are overflowing with little tiny pieces, parts, and brackets. That's going to be the big challenge building this, I think, is it was easy with the empennage and with the, this is bag 880, by the way.
Bag 880, got it.
It was easy with the empennage and with the wings to sort things roughly based on what they were. You know, these are flat parts, these go here, these are elevator parts, they go here. It's not that easy with the fuselage, and there's just so many small parts, and I don't have enough shelf space to separate them that much. So there's going to be a lot of hunting in my future. Oh, come on.
So there
We decided
are
to put rivets in with castle nuts.
a whole lot of different things going on in this bag. There's several different size rivets in there. I think there's a couple different size castle nuts, washers, plate nuts, cotter pins, all kinds of stuff.
So I'm just sorting things out based on what I see. You know, which thing doesn't look like the other. That game is finally coming in handy. And then we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of what we're supposed to have for each thing and make sure that we actually have it. And the rivets are going to be fun because they're getting stuck. That is horrible. Look at that. That is a rivet stuck in a castle nut. All right, Vans, if you ever watch my videos, please stop putting rivets in with castle nuts. That's annoying. Maybe put them in a baggie. Okay, rant over. Oh, and there's cotter pins in here. This really is a mismatched bag. You really did save the best for last, didn't you?
I did. So we should have two different size castle nuts there, both of which we already got bags for.
Okay. You want to go ahead
A
and
310-3 and a 310-4, so I'll just add those to the
mark them off and bag them?
existing bags.
Okay, here's the screws. I believe we have these already. Those look like 8R8s, but I might be wrong. Okay, now it's going to get a little challenging because we have a lot of different rivets.
You said 8R8s?
I think that's what they are.
Not bad.
I've seen a few now. Okay, yeah, mixing rivet sizes in together is just evil. Nope, that doesn't go there. By the way, while I'm sorting this and you guys are just watching, I don't know how much of this I'm going to edit or not, or how much you're going to see versus what I edit out, but I'll throw this out there since I'm looking at rivets and talking about them. If you haven't yet, if you need to buy rivets, I'm not sponsored or anything like that, but Hanson Rivet Supply. Yeah, Hanson Rivet and Supply Company out of Pacoima, California. They are the most affordable I've seen for rivets yet. I believe it's where a lot of the other big companies buy their actual supplies from that they rebag and sell. I know for a fact McMaster Carr buys them from them. So you can cut out the middleman and go straight to them and save yourself some money. I think that pound of rivets there was about 30 bucks, and that was some rivets based on what I think Mark was telling me I would need for the fuselage. So I pre-gamed and bought those ahead of time.
Can you hand me those two 625-7 bushings?
I'm going to assume it's those.
I'm
not smart enough to know what the number is, but I know what a bushing is.
Sometimes they're nice and they actually put it right there on the edge. Sometimes. Not often.
Not often. How many different rivets do I have in here, by the way?
You should have
not numbered,
3
but
rivets.
Okay. That's good because I have 3 piles.
You should have 2 flat flush rivets and 1 button. Unless I got them backwards, I don't know.
That looks about right.
3414 amp.
Thankfully, a lot of the kit wasn't like this. They did a fairly good job of keeping some stuff separated. In fact, this is the first time in the fuselage kit where we've had to sort out rivets, I think, right? Unless you did a bag that I don't know about.
I have not sorted any rivets. This is the first one.
And I will not be counting these.
That's not enough.
We either have enough or we don't. I have spare rivets of almost everything at this point. I'm not gonna complain about a few missing rivets. I do have a couple other small hardware items I will tell them about, only because we got some bigger items missing. Not much. Nothing was on back order, I don't think, right? Nothing was back ordered. Everything is supposed to be here, but we are missing a seatbelt bracket, and the big ticket item we're missing is the front seat control stick. I can't make airplane noises without it. I mean, I can. Won't be the same, though. I can do it with the back seat one. Still not the same. Okay, everything's sorted. Do we already have these rivets?
There's 2 bearings. The rivets, probably.
I said we should. Oh, the bearings.
Those are the, yeah.
Yep. This label maker that we got from Amazon makes this really nice. We just relabel the parts with what the part number actually is, which is, again, what you're going to see on the plans and what you're going to want. And then they go into the bin.
It's a 3-3.5.
Oh. Is that what these tiny ones were? I have so many of these. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Approximately 1/10 of a pound of them.
Yeah, well, I think I have a whole nother bag somewhere. I think I have a pound of them sitting somewhere.
Probably.
Okay.
And some 3-4.5s.
Those I only have more of because I bought more of these when I was doing, I think, the hinge mod for the wingtips.
And then we should have a 4-9.
Okay. So again, I'm not making a new bag for these. These bags already exist. We're just adding them to the current inventory we already have.
4-470-80, 4-9.
Nice. Okay. Can't believe the GoPro battery took a crap. I hope I can get that out of there. Okay. Bolts and washers, I'm willing to bet we already have
Probably most of them.
most of them.
Okay. Washers, nuts, cotters. What do you want to start with? Nut plates. Those are
Well, yeah, let's do the nut plates.
nut
'cause
plates.
They're annoying. Okay. These are the Dash 8s, the flat ones, not the countersunk.
210
Yeah, I believe
51
that's-
LO8s.
Those are
Okay.
them. Two of them.
Two of those.
And then we should have some.
No more in then.
No more in then. Some K1000-08s.
Four of those.
4 of those. I know we got those.
Got a ton of those.
Yep. We're about to have a ton more. Alright. I have a feeling we have bags for almost all the rest of this. So let's just see
Probably.
what we got. And make sure we got the right inventory.
Okay. All right, washers.
Washers. I got 2 of each. Which ones do you want?
I have no clue. Washers. 970-3s, 2.
970-3s. That's,
7/8 inch outer diameter.
yeah, let's see. Bigger ones? That doesn't look like 7. Oh, no, those are the big ones.
970-3.
And if I need a bag for them, let me know.
I'm
a bag.
pretty sure we have one.
thought we
These
did.
right here, the fender washers, right?
Yeah, they're like fender
those.
washers. Okay.
The ones that do not have numbers, that they have an NAS number and then it says replaces.
Oh, yeah.
Those are fun ones. 960-10.
Okay. 2 of them.
2 of those. The first time we got those, it just said NAS number and then it replaces this other number. We had to go to the website, figure out what they were, get out the micrometer,
Oh, yeah.
and sit there and measure these things out to figure out what we had.
That's a good thing too. Micrometer obviously helps. If you got a bolt gauge and you're not sure of thread size, that helps. Go to the van's website though on your phone, go to the store, and if you're not sure of a part number or what's what, look it up. Look up the part number, and most of the times Vans has a picture of it that'll help identify it, because not everything has labels on it like it should. Or if certain hardware is similar, you can look it up, and sometimes there's a picture and a better description so that you can get the exact right number on the right thing.
416.
Ooh, and I think our camera is going to die on us before we're done.
2 of those.
Maybe. It's a race to the end. We're down to 1 bar.
Conveniently, we're down to just some bolts and
Yep.
cotter pins. $1 million question, where did I put the cotter pins that we inventoried a little while ago?
I have no idea. Probably miscellaneous hardware.
Where they are. Are they the same?
Could we get that lucky?
Probably not. Cotter pin.
2 8s, yep.
We have 4.
There they are.
They're 2 different cotter pins.
Oh, these are 2 different sizes?
Yeah, these are 2 different sizes again. They're
Okay.
the same 2 different sizes though, so
Okay. So,
we should have 2 of each.
Yep.
And the cotter pins are
this is where the micrometer
almost
helps.
identical. You can't tell them apart without the micrometer.
So these mic out at 0.056, and the other ones mic out at 0.050. That's how close they are. Okay.
I don't know which one's which.
These are the tinier ones, so these go in. Yep. Damn it, now I'm mixed up.
And this is how we get confused.
Yep. These are the tinier ones. Yep.
Oh, there was one part on back order.
There was?
Front control stick, yes.
It is on back order.
I just noticed it says on back order.
Okay. I guess I don't need to complain about that. My control stick is on back order.
Just because he's not going to complain about it to Vans doesn't mean he's not going to complain about it to me.
That's different.
And his inability to sit in the garage making airplane noises.
I'll still make airplane noises.
He
It's just not the
definitely will.
same. Okay.
Okay, bolts.
Bolts.
Okay.
And we're going to have to make a label for these because I guarantee we don't have a bag with these in them yet.
Well, I did have these all separated out earlier. So AN3, no.
These have holes, so they're going to be...
They're going to be A's, right?
Yeah.
No.
No A's.
No A's. AN3, 6A, 2 of those?
Yep.
Okay. These are all AN4s. I think all of these... Well, we do have AN4s too. So I still need an AN314. AN3. Keep an eye out for that one because surely we've got it.
Maybe we don't.
AN314. Oh, we'll come back to. We have a 14A, but not a 14.
All right.
Okay.
What's the last one?
I don't know. AN425. AN425's 2. Oh, we got the cotter pins. Okay.
And
So
nuts.
I'm just looking for bags for, should be a 316 4R. And 314. Oh, got
316 4R, and we've got 2 of them. Is that what we're supposed to have?
yeah,
All right. That's what we got.
that is. So we actually don't have a bag for these.
Okay.
The AN314s.
All right. I'll make a label for it. If you want to give me the label for it and then the label for the last one. All right, what is it?
AN3-14.
AN3-14, no A.
And you found 2 jam nuts, right?
Yes, I've put those away already.
And threaded rod ends.
Yep, 2 of them.
Got it.
You doing the label for that?
Yeah, I can do the label.
All right, and that is the last part. Okay, she's getting the label printed. That is the last part for the whole inventory for the fuselage, which means next I can finish putting things away and organizing it. The skins for the fuselage are long. If you were watching the unboxing and the inventory till now, you'll know I don't really have a good place for them. I'm either going to keep them in the crate and just keep the crate off to the side, or I'll make a shelf to put them up on. The other thing we got to do is we'll sit down and go through the list. I know we're missing a seatbelt bracket because they gave us 2 L's instead of an L and an R, which is a reoccurring theme. At least it was a bracket this time and not a spar. And we're missing a couple other little bits and bobs for hardware. Otherwise,
plate.
not too bad.
Yeah, plate nuts. Yeah, just some different nuts and bolts.
So,
Not bad. And an entire bag of cotter pins.
1 bag of cotter pins.
A bag of cotter pins.
Oh, that was the other bag you said
yeah.
you thought we were missing. So I guess we are missing it. So I'll get an email sent off to Vans. We're well within our time frame, and then we'll get to we'll get to working on the fuselage. I've already got the firewall sitting out because that's the first thing that's going to get worked on. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure how long this ended up being, but stick around and back to building next. See y'all later. Say bye, Tiffany.
Bye, Tiffany.